What's up, dudes? Max here, and with Tokyo Game Show at its conclusion, we can finally talk about the Street Fighter V newest character, Karin Kanzuki, or it's Karin. I have no idea what the hell's going on with the pronunciation of her name in this game, but we're gonna go with Karin. A lot of you guys might not know this character, and there's a very good reason. Karin only made an appearance in one Street Fighter game in the past, Street Fighter Alpha 3. This came out around 1997, and there were several versions of Alpha that came out on consoles that included more characters, and a version that was kind of the ultimate, which was Alpha 3 Max on PSP. Karin was included in all of these, but was only in the Alpha 3 timeline, and we never saw her again. And this is kind of odd considering that Karin has been at the top of Japanese popularity lists for Street Fighter V for quite some time. It was even kind of confusing why she didn't make it into Ultra Street Fighter 4. So, with that in mind, Karin's a long-term wanted character. People have been waiting for this girl to come back for quite some time, and similar to Nash and also similar to our Mika, they finally made an appearance in Street Fighter V, further cementing that this game is essentially Street Fighter Alpha 4. If you actually look at the list of what characters have made an appearance in all the Street Fighters, including like Street Fighter 4 and Street Fighter 5, the majority of Alpha 3's characters actually showed up in SF4, and the few that actually have made it into Street Fighter 5 now are pretty much occupying the rest of the list, except for one, which is Sodom, and I highly doubt Sodom is going to make an appearance anytime soon in this game. Now, going on to Karin, she's kind of a complicated character in comparison to the other characters in Street Fighter V, which are fairly bare bones. If you jump in and during the beta, when I was kind of intimidated by a character like Birdie, I found myself kind of like understanding what's going on a lot quicker than even a Street Fighter 4 character, mostly because Street Fighter 4 characters have had so much time to breathe and figure out what's really good, that the early process of learning a character is probably one of the best ways to start with a fighting game because everyone's learning at the same time. And this is a great chance that when the game does come out, or a beta comes out that we get to play as Karin, it'd be a good opportunity to start learning this girl as well, because it's looking like she's going to be pretty good. She takes a lot of similarities to her Alpha 3 counterpart. Almost every single one of her normals looks like a normal that came from Alpha 3, and I didn't even play too much of Karin back in the day. I had a little bit of a refresher of what Karin does in the game, and what she does in Alpha 3 is much more, I'd say, expanded. They did technically nerf her moveset in Street Fighter V, because one of her biggest attributes, which they did keep in a way, is her chain rekkas. Or she's kind of got chain special moves. I don't know if you'd really describe them as rekkas. Essentially, she does like a fireball forward with a punch, and then she could follow through with several other different options. This is a comparison not related to Street Fighter, but if you guys have ever played Orchid in Killer Instinct, it's exactly like that. One option leads to another, and you can choose whether to go high or low, or like an overhead or a counter or something like that. That was Karin in a nutshell, and that was kind of what she rotated around in Alpha 3. However, you can still do this with Karin in Street Fighter V, but it is limited to V-Trigger. You have to be in V-Trigger with it activated in order to do these Rekka commands where you go to highs and lows and mix-ups, and she becomes a mix-up monster. That's where Karin's going to be the most deadly in SF5. Her V-skill is kind of uninspired right now. It's kind of similar to what Nash does. She can like absorb a projectile and then kind of poke with it. Its effectiveness hasn't been really shown too much in the videos we've seen, so I'm really hoping to try it out myself to see what we can do. But as a result of it, her V-Trigger becomes her main dominating presence. She's really good when she's in V-Trigger, and it lasts quite a bit of time. It's not like Nakali's where it lasts the entirety of the match. It builds fast, and you'll be seeing V-Trigger a lot with Karin. She also has this wheel kick kind of overhead move where she slaps her arms like down on top of you, and you can also cancel this into other specials at the end of it. It's a pretty decent overhead in Alpha 3, but it's not that great. I'm curious if it's going to be good in this one, and it's really hard to say whether or not she had a lot of good hit confirms or like jab, jab, jab into Rekkas or jab, jab, jab into any one of her new special moves. Kind of hard to say. Not a lot of combos were on display from the videos that were being shown, so I'm waiting to eventually get my hands on her and see what her combo potential is like, as well as the other characters that were in the beta, where a lot of people are saying that many combos got changed from that version up into the versions that we're seeing at TGS. Either way, I think Karin looks absolutely fantastic. I see a lot of people saying that Karin takes a lot from Lily, which is really funny. Lily was a Tekken character that wasn't introduced until Tekken 5 Dark Resurrection, which I think in the States came out around 2005 or 2006. And that's a full 9 years after Karin was introduced in Alpha 3. It goes to show you a lot of people are introduced into the Street Fighter series around Street Fighter 4 and introduced to characters through Street Fighter Tekken, so if we want to talk about stuck-up, like, rich girls in fighting games that kind of dress like this, well, Karin's been doing it for a long-ass time. What do you guys think about Karin in Street Fighter V? Like I said, I hope to get some more footage and understand a little bit more about her when I get another chance to play her, maybe at TwitchCon, I hope. But until then, thank you dudes very much for watching, and stay tuned. I got a video coming up pretty soon as we kind of analyze and try to figure out who the remaining 4 characters are that could make an appearance in SF5. As always, guys, thank you very much for watching. My name is Max, and I'll see you next time.